I highly respect Professor John Lennox, but I think every argument must be taken on its own merits. The following is his argument from his debate against Professor Richard Dawkins. I think this argument went unresponded to because of the lack of time and the nature of the debate. This is what he has to say on the relationship between human morality and God.
The question is, do we need God to be moral? If we formulate it as, can an atheist be good? Of course. Because, as I see it, the very fact that human beings all around the world show a common core of morality is evidence for the truth of the biblical claim that we are moral beings made in the image of God.
Wait, did he just commit a divine fallacy? A divine fallacy often takes the form, I cannot imagine how X could be the case unless it has a supernatural origin. Now, just because we do not know how something took place does not mean that God did it. Let's break his argument down. Professor Lennox says
that human beings all around the world show a common core of morality is evidence that we are moral beings made in the image of God.
Let me give you a few examples. First, I have no idea how humans came into existence, therefore God created them. Second, I have no idea how the cosmos came into existence, therefore God created it. Third, it is impossible for a human to score 100 centuries in international cricket, therefore God did it. Wait, that last one is not to be taken seriously. Anyhow, Professor Lennox's incredulity has nothing whatsoever to do with the origins of human morality. Now that we understand that his argument in defense of existence of God is fallacious, I have at least two further comments. First, personally, I am shocked that Professor Lennox would make such an argument given the vast literature on the origins of morality. Morality is largely considered to be a product of evolution. Consider, for example, incest. Incest is a taboo across several cultures around the world. Incest often has detrimental genetic effects on the offspring. Therefore, it isn't difficult to see how our morals could be guided by evolution. There's another problem with his argument from morality, which is articulated far better by someone than I can. Let's give it a listen.
Okay, there are a few claims there that we have to shelve. One is this idea that you just claim that I got my morality from a religious tradition. Ask yourself, when you pick up the Bible or the Hebrew Bible or any holy book and find ethical wisdom in there, what is that process like? I mean, you pick up Leviticus or Deuteronomy and you find that if a woman is not a virgin on her wedding night, you're supposed to stone her to death on her father's doorstep. Okay, presumably you choose to reject that pearl of ancient wisdom. And then you find another line, I think this is also in Leviticus, love your neighbor as yourself. Or the golden rule, as preached in the New Testament. And this resonates with you as a good operating premise to generate further moral intuitions. If nothing else, it's a good ideal to live toward. Now, that process, the guarantor of your morality in that case is not the book. It's in your brain. And this kind of truth testing is something that we bring to religion.
When Professor Lennox talks about morality as derived from God, I assume he gets his morality from the Bible, as he calls himself
a Christian.
Now, there are only two ways from here. If Professor Lennox chooses to discard some of the verses of the Bible, then, as Sam Harris says, his morality is not derived from God any longer. It is his innate moral compass that tells him right from wrong. Now, if he decides to accept all the verses of the Bible, that means Professor Lennox believes that all the following verses are authentic and moral.
If two men are fighting, and the wife of one of them comes to rescue her husband from his assailant, and she reaches out and seizes him by his private parts, you shall cut off her hand, show her no pity, declares the Lord, because you have forgotten me and trusted in false gods. I will pull up your skirts over your face, that your shame may be seen. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh.
So, Professor Lennox commits a divine fallacy while we already know that evolution must have something to do with our morality. Moreover, if he ignores some biblical prescriptions, then he himself does not derive his morality from God. He lets his innate moral compass do the truth testing of those verses. If not, then we already know what it implies. I have many more arguments against Professor Lennox's and other similar stands on morality. They may be covered in a future video, perhaps when I debunk the argument from morality separately. Regardless of whether you've liked or disliked this video, I request you all to enter some comments and share this video to further this discussion. Thank you.